Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to create a super quick and easy automatic onboarding for your clients that can take your onboarding time from 1 hour or whatever time it takes for you currently to less than 1 minute. You will impress your clients, you will stop wasting time sending messages and emails back and forth, and everything will be done without you even thinking about it. So I'm going to show you exactly step by step how to do it. Let's get into this. So first thing, I'm going to show you during 30 seconds maybe here the flow, and then step by step how to create it using make.com. And I will put the links in the description for all of these automations so that you can download them and then use them on your own make account. So quickly going over this, you can use whatever CRM that you use currently, ClickUp, Airtable, or any other thing. The important thing is that they have to send an API call or a webhook for make. So that will be the trigger. And then you can have, for example, a retainer model or a project model, and you would have one send service agreement and send payment link for the retainer, for example, and another one for the single project one. Once this is sent to them, then it's when the real onboarding starts. So you can have it, for example, when they pay, you're happy, and it automatically gets the trigger that client paid, the Slack channel gets created, the client gets invited to the channel, you get an internal folder and an external folder created, and the client gets an onboarding email sent directly to them, and you on Slack or whatever other tool you use for communication, you get a private notification saying this client name has been onboarded. Here's the Slack channel. Go check them. Go send them a message, whatever message you want to have. I have an upgraded version of this, which is the one I use in my own agency, where you can have referrals, which gets a different flow from this. You can have more than 2 services, more than 2 currencies, more than 2 languages, and overall you get more control over the whole flow. It's a bit bigger, that's why I didn't do directly this one. I wanted to do a simple version first, but if you want me to do a video around it, let me know and I'll create a video for you. But then let's get into the actual how to do this thing. So first thing, we send them the payment and the agreement. You have to have the webhook again from either ClickUp, Airtable, or whatever CRM you use. And we check if this service type is a retainer or subscription, or if it's a project. And then the flow is basically 99% the same, with just a little change from the two. So first, using PandaDoc or whatever document, agreement, contract tool you use, you set up the document name. So in this case, company name or their company name and your company name, agreement. Again, you can change all of these little variables that I have here to, of course, your own. Don't leave them just like this. But you would select the template ID that you use for this specific service type, and then you pass the email that will send the agreement, the client email, and then you pass the retainer fee. So in this case, I have here formatted, because if you pass, for example, 2,500 per month, you want it to be on the contract, maybe with a little comma. So this is what the formatting does. I'm going to save it so that you have this well formatted. Then we create a customer, and once you get this on your own account, you have to select all the connections and connect with your own accounts, but it's super straightforward and simple. We put the client email and name. You can put first name or first name and last name, it's up to you. And then we create, for the subscription, we create a subscription item. So you grab the Stripe API key that you have, you put it here, and then you select you put the name that you want for this subscription and the description for it. So it's like you have your company name retainer and marketing services, for example, if you have a marketing agency or whatever description you want to have. Then we create their price, and for the price, again, remember to always put your API token. We pass the retainer fee and we multiply it always by 100, because that's just how Stripe works. They work with cents. So we always have to multiply our numbers by 100 to add those 2 zeros. And we pass here that it's monthly, USD, and the product that we just created on the previous step. And then we create the subscription. So here is where we pass what customer it is, what's the price. We put a bit of information about the payments. And the very important part is we pass a metadata with the client's email, company, and first name. And we will use this on the second step, on the actual onboarding, so that we have this information once they pay. The last step is to send them an email with the link for the subscription, because for subscriptions, we create links to not expire, because if it's an invoice, it will expire. So we create the links, we send them a quick email saying, hey, welcome aboard. Here's the payment link for the retainer. This is just a quick thing I put with ChatGPT. You can change this for whatever you want. And the important thing is that you need to have the invoice URL on the email. It's exactly the same thing for invoices for the project part. You create the customer, the invoice item, and the invoice. The invoice, remember that you can put the days until the invoice is due. And also we pass here, again, the same metadata for company, email, and the first name. But also we pass that is this a single project? Yes. You will see why later once we do the onboarding, but it's just to filter between subscriptions or retainers and single projects. And it's the same thing. We finalize the draft, super easy, and we send them the invoice. So this is automatic. It grabs what customer has this invoice and sends the email to the customer email. Once the customer pays or signs the agreement or does both, for example, me personally, I only start the onboarding once they pay and sign the agreement. You can change that part here. You just need to add some little changes. But for this one to be simple, I selected just the payment. You need to click here and add a new webhook for the payment. This is important because on the group, you need to select the invoice ones and select invoice paid and invoice payment succeeded. These are the two ones that you have to be looking for. Again, you use your connection, your Stripe connection, sorry, and you give whatever name you want to the webhook, like invoice payments. I'm going to close it because I already have one. And then once that gets triggered, every single time there's a payment, we need to put a filter. Because, for example, for returners, you will always have every month payments, and we don't want to onboard clients that are already on retainers. So for retainers, we look for the billing reason subscription creates. Again, if you download and upload this version, you will have everything automated and automatically there. You don't need to create this. But we look for the ones that are created right now, not the ones that are currently paying. And for the project, as you remember, we put the metadata for single project yes. This is where we're using it so that we can filter for single projects. Then the flow is exactly the same for both. We have Slack create a channel. So we have to replace the company name with dashes instead of spaces because Slack doesn't accept spaces. And we also have to put the name in lowercase. And then I always attach here a dash and then your service like marketing, leads, whatever you want to give. For example, for us, we put operations, and that's how the client will know that it's your own channel. You can also give your own company name here, for example, like this. So you can replace this however you want. Then we invite a Slack app to be able to then invite your client. So this is an important part because this app will be able to onboard a lot of clients. And I have here a very simple explanation of how to do it. So you have to go to api.slack.com/apps. You will create a new app. And once you have that app created, you go to authentication and permissions, and you will see this page. You scroll down until the bot token scopes. And here you will create conversations, connect, manage, read, and write. You do that by adding the scopes here. These are the three basic ones that you need. You can add more for more options later on, but right now for this automation, it's more than enough. Once you do them, you go up and you click install or reinstall to your workspace name, and you copy this authentication token or authorization token. So what this does is you need it on these invites to put here the API, or in this case, it's the app token. You're going to paste it here so that it can start inviting your clients. So we pass here the channel ID that was previously created, and we pass again the metadata that we created. We pass the client email that comes from the metadata. Very simple and straightforward. We create the internal and external folders. So you can, if you just want to have one of them, you just delete one of them. And you select what is the folder location for the client folder. So for example, for us, we have clients internal and clients external. And we pass the folder name as the company name of the client. So again, we pick it up from the metadata. Once this is done, it automatically sends them an onboarding email. You put the email address here for your clients, again, coming from the metadata, and then put whatever subject and email body that you want. Remember always to put the email body as HTML. You can always also put it as plain text, but HTML will let you do some good emails. I didn't put anything here because it changes from company to company, so you can do your own onboarding email here. If you don't want to be an email and want it to be a Slack message, also just change this with a Slack message and it will be good to go. It's exactly the same as this message, for example, but this is an internal one. So once the client gets onboarded, the last thing is sending a private message to your own internal channel of your choice. So you put here the channel ID, and then you put, you put company name, has been onboarded. Here is their channel with their channel ID, so that you can also immediately go there and send them like a welcome message if you don't have that part automated. It's super easy and super quick to set up, and it will save you hours of work. It's incredible. I'm going to leave the links in the description so that you can use this. And yeah, you can upload them to your own. And I'll be doing one video per day over the next 30 days. It will be over how to improve and optimize operations for your business using AI, automation, and data analytics. So I hope you enjoyed it and I hope it's helpful. Thank you and see you tomorrow.